I'm Jeff McGee. I'm the TA for a information retrieval class at A&M, and I'm going to be talking about using modern Python development practices in a classroom. So the class that I'm the TA of has been teaching Python for several years. This year we decided to bring in some modern things like unit tests, Git, NoSQL database, web apps, and basically take all these to combine them together to be as a part of the homework assignment. So it's kind of neat, and yeah. So over the course of the semester, what the students are doing is they're building a little search engine that searches over a corpus of about 1 million tweets, and they're doing clustering and classification, and they do page rank on the graph of mentions and several other things like that. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm taking some industry best practices and seeing how can we use them to help students learn the curriculum better, and I think this is kind of a neat idea. So just as a demo of the app that they're working on, we basically give them a JavaScript, obviously Bootstrap-based front end. What they have to write is a JSON API that talks to that we've already provided. Anyway, so we provide a set of data. We provide some minimal unit tests. We provide a little bit of Python hints as to where to go. And then what we have the students do is they write the Python code that's traditionally been a part of the assignments for this class in the past. And they also, as the course progresses, they're asked to write their own unit tests for the code that they've written in class or that they've written for their assignment. So they can have an idea that their stuff works. As the course progresses, we give them more data. We give them a little more control over the design. The first assignment, it's pretty cookie cutter. You do this, and as they actually have to deal with design. Anyway, we also are having them use Git so that each assignment can build on the previous one. As I'm about to show you a picture of kind of the Git repo, we distribute both the solution sets via Git, and we distribute the next set of homeworks via Git. And so they can either take our solution, or they can take their solution from the previous homework, merge that with the stuff for the new assignments, and they have where they start on for the next assignment. Does that make sense? Well, it'll help if I show you a kind of the graph of. So we have homework. I don't know how well you can see that. Can y'all see that? Yes? No? Yeah. Okay. We have our homework 1 was released, and then homework 2 is a branch extending off of homework 1, but you also have to have the code that was homework 1's solution, because those work together to be the part, to work. You have to work off of that to make homework 2. Anyway, so they get experience using Git. It also lets them we shepherd them in a certain direction, and we slowly build up what we're doing over time. So what worked for this, these are all junior and senior computer science students, so we can basically just say, here's the Python tutorial, learn it, figure it out. You've already learned 3 or 4 other languages. Just, it's the first week of school, you can do this. Pretty much the same thing for Git. They've gotten enough to survive the assignments of Git. There's been some trouble with that. I'll talk about that in a second. We've had really good discussions in Google groups as students kind of help each other with this whole, how do I get things working? How do I get things to do what they need to do? And then another thing that's been nice about this is I can grade their assignments with additional unit tests that test kind of more thoroughly and say, did you make mistakes? Yeah, you've got something that kind of works, but it's not perfect. And so I can look and see automatically how they've done on the assignment. It's not as, you won't be able to automate things as much towards the end, but it's nice for the fairly cookie cutter stuff. One kind of interesting emergent thing that I didn't expect to happen was I put a time limit on, you should be able to do this many you should be no worse than 10 times slower than my solution, which interestingly enough, like several students out on their own went and learned to use a profiler as a result of that. That kind of wasn't something I expected to happen. And at the very end of the semester, the students are going to be doing their own projects on GitHub. So one thing that really has been kind of a pain point here is students using Windows have had trouble installing Python packages and dealing with Git because of just using Git in Windows isn't as nice as other operating systems. Okay, questions, comments?